guys. I'm on my way back to Chillicothe from Liberty, and I noticed in the last video that there's a lot of wind noise apparently in my car. I know that it makes your ass hurt really bad once you get out of the seat. Or I'm just getting old. That's probably what I need said here. Turn it on, Donna. It'll work. Imagine that. Okay. Well, I thought, well, what can I talk about in the group about anyone? No, not anyone. I'll pick on one. So I'm going to tell a story about when she had went on to what I call the dreaded cane story. I wrote this out, and about 4 o'clock in the morning I put it on Facebook, and then by 8 o'clock I was, maybe even by 6, I was like, oh my god, I think that's too over the top. I'm trying to get it off before everybody sees it. A lot of people saw it, and I had some requests to put it back on, but it never occurred to me to save it, so I'll try to talk about it. And Jack, I might even send a copy to you since you requested the story. And I don't know whether it will come out. As you noticed, I write better than I talk. I jump all around. But anyway, Mom could make what's a good word? She could make going to the store an all-day event that she planned for all weekend. And this was true. When we were young, growing up, Thursdays was grocery day, and she'd spend Wednesday doing her hair and doing her nails, and then Thursday she'd go to the store and get that little station wagon, and she had this routine that she went through, and Sarah and I used to imitate it, teach us and laugh, and I shouldn't have done that because I have a routine that I go through when I get in my car. I don't do it. It's just I can't drive right. So the only thing mine doesn't involve is lighting a cigarette and gunning the engine because the cars are different today. But I think I'm going to call this dreaded cane story. Okay, when Mom got to where she had to use a cane, people who use canes, they become super, super obnoxious with them. And I can attest to this because Dwight, when he had gout and stuff in his foot, he was on a cane, and you just want to yank the cane away from him, just beat the shit out of him with it. But it was back then. We used to haul our bony butt around, and I learned early on to just drop her ass off. I mean, she could make a career out of going into the grocery store and shopping, and she definitely didn't want me hanging around, and I definitely didn't want to be following her around, staring at everything that was on the shelf. But, in her defense, that was something she could get out and do, so, I'd say, drop her off. How long, Mom? Oh, give me a couple of hours. So a couple of hours, I'd go back, and there she'd be waiting. So, one July day, and back then I wore skirts a lot, and I have to back up and say that why is my cruise control not working? I think it was back in the 80s, I gave up wearing goddamn underwear, okay? Because I got tired of getting out of the car and it's stuck in my car. So I thought, well, okay, I wear pantyhose, I'm ditching underwear. So that worked out, but then I eventually ditched the pantyhose too. So, they call it commando, but I wore skirts a lot back then when I took long places. And it was just cool. And now they come up with what I call butt floss. A little triangle with all these little strings to hold them on. It costs a fortune. I'm like, you want this stuff? Okay, I'm getting off track. I am so Grandma Rogers getting off track now. That it isn't even funny. But, so it's a hot July day and my hair was really long. And it's sticking to the back of my neck. And, you know, the sun is shining out and it's making it worse. And I dropped her off at the store and I go back and get her and I pull up to the front door because there she stands waiting, holding on to her cart because she's terrified she's going to fall. And I pull as close up as I can. I go around and I open up the passenger side of the door, and this time instead of putting the groceries in the trunk, I'm going to put them in the back seat because, like I said, it was super, super hot that day. And I'm standing there and I'm taking bags out of her car, and you can feel the heat just rolling up underneath the car. It's rolling up under my skirt, and it's, you know, my face, and there's sweat dripping off my face. It's running down between my testicles. You know, it's everywhere. And I start to put these stacks in there, and she is behind me, and she is holding onto the car, and she also has her cane. And she's pointing over my shoulder. The cane is coming over my shoulder like this, catching in my hair as she's pointing, and I'm bending over. And she's pointing at different spots in the back seat. Okay, now I want my bread over there, and I want my, you know, the sack that's got my eggs there, and better put, you know, this, like, I've never loaded a damn car before in my lifetime with groceries in it. In the 50 years that I had lived, or whatever, at that time. And I'm trying not to lose my patience because I am hot and I'm tired. And I am putting up with this cane that is grazing my neck and coming under my armpits, you know, sliding out and, you know, banging on the seat and shit like that. And I turned around to her and I said, Mom, yeah, stop it with the goddamn cane, okay? Or I'm going to take it away from you. Oh, okay, well, I just want you to get the groceries in the right spot. And I'm like, I will take care of the groceries, okay? And then I'm going to put your bony ass in the car and hook you up and take your ass home. So I turn back around and holding some more of a crap in the car. A woman bought enough food as if we all screwed at home. But she, so pretty soon I feel this cane between my ankles and it comes up. And she's trying, I don't know what she's trying to do. I think she's trying to get it back in the car or something like that. But it got hooked on my skirt. And I feel the back of my skirt go completely up over my bare white butt, okay? My buttocks, just for scalp and color. And I'm in the car and my eyes are really big and I'm thinking, oh my God. Of course, in my mind at that point, everybody in Chillicothe is shopping at Hy-Vee at that particular moment, and they're all looking out the window. And they have all seen my bare ass, buck naked butt, you know. And I turned around and I'm glaring at her. And she's looking back at me, and I swear to God, I can see her blue eyes now. And I'm glaring at her, and I grabbed the cane away from her. I go, give me the goddamn cane. And I threw it in the back seat, and I said, and then I pulled the car around. I was done by the grocery stand, and I said, get in the car now. And all I can do to just keep from just strangling this woman. And she's laughing. She thinks it's hilarious and funny. At this time, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm really pissed off. So I put her in the front seat, and I reach over and fasten her in, and you know, the roles are reversed. I'm fastening her in the seat instead of her fastening me in. Although, now that I think about it, we weren't fastening it. Remember, but anyway. So I get in the car and I begin my Jean bitching to Jean. And I am going on and on about her and her cane and her and how I'm going to kill her. And she has got the nerve to sit over there beside me and just cackle and cackle and cackle. And she sounded just like Grandma Rogers. And I said, Mom, this is not a funny matter. This is unacceptable. I cannot, I swear to God, the cane is going to end up at a pretzel and you're not going to have anything to walk with. Or I'm going to quit taking you to the damn store. And she's laughing about it all the way. And I guess it was, we alternated weeks. 1 week was the grocery store, the next week was Walmart. And so the next week I'd go to pick her up, load her up, and take her to Walmart. And I'm sitting at a stoplight, and make a left turn, and she's over there babbling on, and she goes, I may have to make another trip to Hy-Vee before we go home. And I'm sitting there, and I can't even imitate the look I must have had on my face, because I just looked over there at her, and she just busted up laughing. And I said, today? And she goes, well, I was thinking today after Walmart. And I said, what do you want? I will run in and get it, and you will stay in the car with your cane. And that woman just cackled and carried on about the whole thing. It was ridiculous. Another time I was taking her to Walmart. You know, she was my backseat driver in my passenger seat. And George Bush was Jr. was in office at the time. And I don't know, the conversation was going back and forth, and I can't remember. I had no idea what it was about, but I got on a rant about George. And I'm just ranting on and, going on about him, and my hands are flying all around, and I passed the turn that I normally take to turn into Walmart. And she's like, Donna, can I just butt in for a minute? I'm like, what? She's like, why did you missed the turn back there. And I said, well, I missed it, Mom, because I'm talking about our wonderful president right now who has just made me so happy. And God damn it, stop interrupting me when I'm ranting. And there's I'll get you there. There's another way down this way, because, I'm just so wrapped up in talking about how much I love him. And it was just, and she just started laughing. And we get at Walmart and we pull up to the door, and I come around and help her get out and sit for toddling on her way to the door. And I always sit and wait until she got inside. Then I go home and I would fall into bed, set my alarm or whatever for an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever she decided she needed to nose around. That was her expression, nose around. Now, the only exception to me going to any store with her was Goodwill. And for some reason she thought that was, I don't know, a great bonding experience for her and I. Believe me, the bonding experience, shit happened in the car. Anyway, she thought, do you want to go nose around at Goodwill? I'm like, sure. Yeah, I can barely drag myself around. I'm hot and tired. But anyway, this is my story about the dreaded cane. She eventually moved to a walker, and then it was everywhere. I could pick her up and get her in the car, and it was full to walk her up. And, it went from there. But I'm sure that the story was written a lot better than the way I could tell it. This is what I write, rather than nothing. So that's my dreaded cane story for the family about. This will be about Aunt Jeannie to some, Myrna Jean to others, Helen, if Helen was still around. She had that, basically voice. Used to drive mom up a wall. Just drove her up a wall. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Just like Grandma. When I go over to Grandma's house and, ask for her advice, and she, like I said, she'd give it to you in a story. Only that would remind her of something else, and then something else, and then, before long you've had this convoluted story going on. Except back then, I don't know, 45 years ago, I was sharper, and I could lead her back to the first story that we were talking about. And now, I do it, and when Sarah and I get together, we go through it, and then we never finish a story, and then when we part, and I'm going back over the conversation, I realize that I don't know the ending to any of the shit that we talked about. So, that's life. That's, what goes around comes around, and shit is genetic. Let me just say that. I have discovered in 60 years that stuff is genetic. So, there's a lot of Grandma in me. There's a lot of Mom in me. I'm not even going to go on. It's kind of an impressive thought. I will talk to you later.